Just because of not saying Inshallah, King Zulkarnain has been imprisoned under the Iron Wall for thousands of years. One of the signs of doomsday is a destructive nation on earth called Yajuj Majuj. In today's video we will know where they will come from. When will it come? How will it come? At the same time, I will know whose descendants Yajuj Majuj is, where did they come from and why their enmity with Muslims in particular. And one of the signs of doomsday, when Yajuj Majuj can break the wall and come to earth, they will eat the fresh water of all the rivers of the world in 2 days. The question is that the wall is currently located in which country in the world? You will be surprised to know that some very recent scientists have found that wall. Dear visitor, King Zulkarnain, who is the king of the whole world. People of every religion in the world still remember this king with respect. For example, Christians consider him Cyrus the Great. Muslims consider him King Zulkarnain. Also, people of different religions know him by different names, but everyone respects him because he was the king of the whole world. According to the Holy Quran, once he went on a long journey and went to a place where mountain springs were blowing on one side and the red sun was sinking under the sea water, meaning the sun was setting. Then he saw a nation whose language he did not understand, meaning they were far from civilization and they were a much oppressed nation. In the Holy Quran, Allah Ta'ala says, "Then I said to Zulkarnain, maybe you punish them or do something good for them." This means that this nation is seeking refuge with Zulkarnain. Now if Zulkarnain leaves without sheltering them, it is a matter of punishing them, and if Zulkarnain behaves with other people as he behaves with his instincts, that is, he was a very fair-hearted person. He could never take his eyes off the suffering and helpless people. So by the will of Allah, Hazrat Zulkarnain had mercy on that nation again. That nation came and complained to Zulkarnain that King Yajuj Majuj had made our lives miserable. If you build a true ancient between them and us, we can live in peace. The king saw that every person of the whole nation was affected. Their life is full because whenever this Yajuj Majuj wreaked havoc on them, not only would they kill them, but he would loot all their wealth in the entire Kabila and enslave their children and women of Kabila, and they lived inside a terrible mountain where one had to go through a mountain cave or pass, and there was only one way to enter that mountain. History tells us that it is one of the largest mountains in the world. For example, you can compare with or larger than the present-day Mount Everest. So this afflicted nation said to King Zulkarnain to melt his heart and save him from Yajuj Majuj, "King, we give you all the wealth we have acquired in our lives. Make us a strong wall in the middle of the mountain pass of Yajuj Majuj so that they cannot oppress us." King Zulkarnain said, "You have no need for wealth, only you will work with me. I will make you a strong wall with my wealth." Dear audience, you understand, and King Zulkarnain has promised to build a strong wall of iron and copper along the entire road to his monstrous pass, but he does not want to take any wealth in return. For whom he will build this wall, it is understood how generous he was. Let the audience inform you from history that until King Zulkarnain was building this wall, King Zulkarnain sought the help of Allah, and constantly he raised his hands in prayer on the bed of prayer and asked Allah's help so that Yajuj would not come out of the mountain until this wall was built. Allah accepted the supplication of King Zulkarnain, and in exchange for several long months he melted all the copper and iron of his acquired huge iron deposits and copper deposits and built such a strong wall by closing the middle of the road leading out to the mountain pass of Yajuj Majuj, which remains till today. Dear audience, you will be surprised to know that even today the descendants of Yajuj Majuj are living inside the mountain, which may be lying very deep in the ground without sunlight. They are still alive there. They are gathering their own strength, and every day they dig half of this wall with their nails, and when they go, we will finish the rest next day. But they don't say Inshallah, they will come the next day and break that wall. When they go, they see that they have gone to their previous state. It means that the half they eroded the previous day becomes half thick again by the command of Allah. But before the day of resurrection, there will come a day when this Yajuj will be forgotten through the mouth of Majuj. Inshallah, we will dig the rest tomorrow or break the rest. On that day they are able to break that wall, because on that day the wall of that wall made by King Zulkarnain with the unseen help of Allah Rabbul Alameen will not be filled again, because the time will happen when the people of the world will forget to say the name of Allah Inshallah or Allah, but Yajuj Majuj will accidentally come out. Inshallah will go. And because of which Yajuj Ma broke that wall. Dear audience, let us inform you that a group of Muslims in Russia has been searching for that mountain in Yajuj Majuj for 40 years based on various historical data. Most recently they claim to have found the wall of Yajuj Majuj, and they also claim to have gone there and collected data from the wall with their own eyes. According to the research team, they first combined all the information related to Yajuj Majuj described in the Quran and Hadith and created a design by subtracting all the information, and according to that design, the most likely place of Yajuj Majuj is in a certain mountainous region of the present-day Kyrgyzstan, which was once part of the Soviet Union, i.e. inside Greater Russia, but when the Soviet Union seceded, Kyrgyzstan was a separate one becomes a state. So let us inform you that this country is a huge area and there are no people. Because most of the time different parts of this country are buried under ice. So there were many Asians in their research team and all traveled a long 4-month journey, intersecting the inclement weather of the ice storm and reaching the designated place. Then they found a road through the mountain ice that showed that it was man-made. It seems to have been created at least 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. However, as they went along the mountain pass, they found many iron and copper smelting objects that bore enough evidence that their idea was true, and they went to certain places and saw 2 mountains, as stated in the Quran, but the copper and iron between the 2 mountains. They believe that the wall made of iron is buried under several hundred meters of ice for a long time. And this is an area with no objects far away, no human settlements. The question is, was it necessary to build a wall? Already there are no people, no cars, no houses or even no animals in this location. Can't come here with the help of any vehicle. This research team came by helicopter. Interestingly, one day towards the end of their weeks of research, they landed in a helicopter location, then they checked there with metal detectors, and immediately received a signal, indicating that under the entire layer of this ice, there is a wall made of metal or iron and copper that is more than 1,000 years old. However, this research is still ongoing. There are still many answers to this. This research is still not revealing, maybe many people can make fun of it, but there is no doubt that the prophecies of the Holy Quran are never false. There is no doubt that the truth told by Allah before the day of resurrection will be established. Yajuj Majuj will spread to the earth one day or the other.